In a quiet village surrounded by tall, protective mountains, there lived a young woman named Clara. Clara had always been known for her bright spirit and ambition. She dreamed of traveling far beyond the mountains, exploring the world, and achieving great success. However, there was one thing that always seemed to stand in her way: obstacles. Clara had a habit of becoming frustrated whenever things didn't go her way. If she set out to accomplish something and encountered resistance or difficulty, she would often abandon the effort, assuming it was not meant to be. Why does life have to be so hard? She would ask herself. It seemed like every time she made plans, something always happened to ruin them. One day, after yet another failed attempt to leave the village and start a business in a nearby city, Clara sat by the river, watching the water flow steadily over rocks and around boulders. It was there that she met an elderly man named Eldon, a wise villager who had lived through countless challenges. Eldon noticed Clara's sadness and sat down beside her. "You seem troubled, my dear," he said gently. Clara sighed deeply. "I'm just tired of things always going wrong. I try so hard, but every time I start something new, there's a problem or obstacle in my way. It's like the universe doesn't want me to succeed." Eldon smiled knowingly and gestured to the river in front of them. "Do you see this river? It has been flowing for centuries. Look at how it moves over the rocks, bends around the sharp edges, and never stops flowing, even though there are obstacles in its path." Clara furrowed her brow. "But what does that have to do with me?" "The river doesn't complain when it encounters a boulder or a branch," Eldon explained. "It simply finds a way around it. The obstacles do not stop the river. They shape its journey. Without them, the river wouldn't have its beautiful twists, turns, and cascades. In the same way, obstacles in your life don't block your path, they help shape it. They teach you valuable lessons and make you stronger." Clara looked at the river more closely now. The rocks and branches that she had once seen as disruptions were part of what made the river so unique and beautiful. It was not a straight, unchallenged line, it was a story of perseverance. "But how do I learn to be like the river?" Clara asked. Eldon gave her a thoughtful look. "It begins with a shift in mindset. Instead of viewing obstacles as barriers meant to stop you, see them as opportunities to learn, grow, and adapt. The greatest successes in life come not from avoiding challenges, but from overcoming them." Clara pondered this as she returned home. She decided to put Eldon's advice into practice. The very next day, she set out to start her business again. But this time, she expected challenges and promised herself that she would not give up at the first sign of difficulty. The materials she needed for her project were delayed, and her plans fell behind schedule. In the past, Clara would have seen this as a sign to quit, but now she remembered the river and Eldon's words. She thought about how she could adapt. Instead of waiting around, she used the extra time to improve her business model, refine her products, and do additional research. When the materials finally arrived, Clara was more prepared than ever. Over the following weeks, Clara faced more difficulties. One of her suppliers went out of business, and her budget was stretched thin. But instead of seeing these as reasons to stop, Clara found solutions. She negotiated better deals with new suppliers and made adjustments to her spending. Each problem that arose tested her patience and creativity. But with each solution, Clara felt herself growing more confident and capable. Months later, Clara's business finally took off. It wasn't easy, and it certainly wasn't the smooth, straightforward path she had originally imagined. But as she stood in front of her thriving shop, she realized that the obstacles she had once resented were the very things that had made her journey so fulfilling. Without them, she would never have learned the importance of persistence, adaptability, and resilience. One day, Alden came to visit Clara's shop. "I see you found your way, just like the river," he said with a wink. Clara smiled warmly. "I think I understand now. The obstacles weren't there to stop me, they were there to make me stronger." Alden nodded. "Exactly. Life is full of challenges, but it is how we face them that defines us. Remember, no great achievement comes without hardship. The greatest leaders, inventors, and thinkers faced countless obstacles. What set them apart was their refusal to be defeated by those challenges. They became who they were because of the obstacles, not in spite of them." Clara thought about all the times she had given up too easily in the past. If only she had known then what she knew now, that every problem was an opportunity in disguise. As she reflected on her journey, she realized that even the biggest setbacks had taught her something invaluable. The delays had given her time to improve her ideas. The financial struggles had taught her how to manage her resources wisely. And most importantly, the obstacles had taught her patience, determination, and the power of a positive mindset. Years later, Clara became known not just for her successful business, but for her wisdom in helping others overcome their challenges. She shared her story with anyone who would listen, always emphasizing the importance of persistence and resilience. "Don't fear obstacles," she would tell people. "Embrace them. They are the stepping stones to your success." One day, a young girl came to Clara, much like Clara had once sat by the river with Alden. The girl was frustrated, feeling like life was constantly throwing problems her way. "I don't know how to move forward," the girl said. "Every time I try to do something, there's always something in the way." Clara smiled, recognizing herself in the girl's words. "Let me tell you a story," she began. And as the girl listened, Clara recounted her journey, from her early days of frustration to the wisdom she had gained by embracing the obstacles life had thrown at her. By the end of the story, the girl's eyes were bright with understanding. "So the obstacles aren't there to stop me?" she asked. "No," Clara said gently. "They are there to help you grow. Every obstacle is a lesson, a chance to become stronger and wiser. Don't let them discourage you. Let them guide you." The girl thanked Clara and left with a renewed sense of purpose. As she walked away, Clara felt a deep sense of fulfillment. She had come full circle, from someone who once feared obstacles to someone who had learned to embrace them, and now She was passing that wisdom on to the next generation. And so, the cycle continued, like the river flowing steadily over rocks, bending around obstacles and never stopping. Life, Clara realized, was not about avoiding difficulties, but about navigating them with grace and resilience. And in doing so, she had found a deeper, richer meaning in her journey. Moral of the story: obstacles are not roadblocks. They are the essential parts of your journey that help you grow, adapt, and ultimately achieve your dreams. Embrace them, learn from them, and let them guide you to success.